changing lives.
God, good evening. Yes, and it's another wonderful episode right here on Rhythms of Life from the studios of Hope Channel Ghana. My name is Nana Akusia Buache. And you know, this past weekend, heaven was full of praise and joy. Yes, because the coming King ended with beautiful people joining the flock. Yes, and I know God is happy, and we are also happy that we're able to baptize new converts to join the church. We say God's name be praised. But then it is our duty. It doesn't end at baptism. We need to encourage this new convert to love God more, be happy to be part of the church, and get them ready as we also prepare ourselves for the second coming of Christ. Yamo meninka asorinim. Yan show mun kwan. Nyan show moding. No muntimintina sorry mu. Then together we can make it to heaven. Amen to that. I know you've responded. And the second beautiful thing that happened later in the evening was the manifest. Yes, they celebrated their 20th anniversary with a grand concert. If you couldn't make it there, I'm sorry, you missed a lot. But it was beautiful. And we thank God for a successful event. We pray that God will keep leading them for them to achieve more, because they proclaim that they have a lot of things they want to do, not only for themselves, but for humanity and then God's work. May God bless them for that good initiative they are trying to work on. So my dear, I welcome you once again. If you just joined us, Rhythms of Life. Today I have a wonderful guest here, and you need to sit back and get to know more about him. Don't go anywhere. We're going for this quick music break. We'll be back and you get to know my guest. Welcome back from the music break, and that was Abigail in Cancer. In fact, Mrs. Abigail in Cancer. God bless her for the good work she's doing in the music ministry. So today, my guest, as I said earlier, is a wonderful one. That is Mr. Eric Asomani, the most outstanding teacher for the year 2020. Recently, he's been acknowledged again as the overall winner of the Vodafone Ghana Foundation National STEM Teacher of the Year Award. It's not easy to get that. Hello, Mr. Eric.
Yes, dear.
Asomani, how are you doing?
By God's grace, I'm fine.
We thank God. It's been like almost 2 years, right?
Yes, exactly 2 years.
Exactly 2 years.
Yes.
And how has it been? Like, how did you feel? How do you feel to win?
By the grace of God, I feel so happy, and there is much joy. If God honors you this way, I think it is something you must be very happy with. And I always attribute it to my God. More of God, little of me. Yes. So
did you see it coming?
For this one, no.
Why are you saying sudden. For this one, no? Is it that 2020 or you actually saw it coming?
For the 2020, I didn't see it coming, but persistently, officers from the education office encouraging me to enter into the contest.
Okay.
I saw that there is a hope, and that one we had to wrestle from district through to regional to the national level. But the whole contest was within 2 weeks. Unlike the 2020 Teacher Prize Award, about 6 or 8 month duration of contest. So this was sudden.
16 regions.
Yes.
And then shortlisted, we have 26 teachers.
Yes.
And you came out as the winner.
Yes.
What do you think made you stand out?
Okay, thank you. This is a STEM award, and when we talk of the STEM, we are looking at
the
science, technology, where I fall. Then we have the engineering, then mathematics. So they were looking at innovation, how you have been able to innovate something to promote teaching and learning, and also how you have been able to identify and solve problem. So this were what they were looking out for. And by God's grace, I had a number of interventions falling within that range. And I think that was what led to the overall award.
You made mention of project. I do remember last 2 years when that time was Calvary Hour. You were here with Madam Sandra Osei,
yes.
And you spoke of the project you want to work on after winning that most outstanding teacher.
Yes.
So far, what are some of the projects? I think these are some of the projects that made you you win the award.
Yes, please. All right. After the award, I embarked on a number of projects. I'm a science teacher. My first degree, I did science before moving on to the ICT. So I decided to promote the teaching and learning of science and ICT in the country. So one, I decided to support the less endowed schools with science and ICT textbooks.
Okay.
So within the time of my award till now, I have been able to, by God's grace, as I said, more of God, little of me, I have been able to donate over 3,400 science and ICT textbooks worth over 90,000 Ghana cedis to over 60 schools across the country. And this project has covered 5 regions now.
Okay.
Western region, right. Central.
So viewers, you can see so far the schools he's talking about that he has donated these books to. Yes, you can.
Yes, so I have donated, the donation has covered about 5 regions. Western region, Central region, Greater Accra, Eastern region, and Volta. Even now we have Uti region, so 6 regions. they have all benefited from this project. So you can see some of the science textbooks have donated to these over 60 schools across the country. So this is one of the projects. Aside that, I have also trained teachers on certain key topics in the new curriculum, which were so challenging to them: coding and scratch block arrangement. So I have trained teachers within Greater Accra region and Eastern region. And more so, I have been able to donate over 150 computers to deprived schools or less endowed schools. So these are some of the computers I have donated, and these were donated to Chim.
Which school is this?
Chim Secondary
School.
Yes, they received 50 computers.
Okay.
And it is supporting the teaching and learning of the STEM subjects. Then the school where I teach, that's Nelo SDA, I donated 20 laptops to also support them. Aside that, Ekwasi SDA, where I had my primary education, I've also donated 20 to them. Then Ekwasi St. Michael's, where I attended my secondary school, I have also given 10, and other schools have also received. So all these are promoting the teaching and learning of the STEM subjects. And one of the initiatives was the ICT and Science Lab I thought of putting up for my alma mater, Ekwasi SDA, which by God's grace we have been able to put up a very nice structure, though not yet completed, but I believe by God's grace, since other awards are coming in, we'll be able to complete that task as well.
I know you're also offering free online classes during the COVID time.
Yes. That was one of
for free?
Yes, for free. For free, and I spent a lot bringing cameras down, buying all the gadget that can help me get good sound and other things. But we were all doing to support the teaching and learning, and I think all these contributed to the award. So I thank God that at a particular point in time I was recognized for all those things I was doing on my own.
So doing this project, were you sure you were going to succeed? People start with these things and along the way they just drop off.
Because it wasn't easy, but all was on to determination and then perseverance. Because I started the project, like when you talk about the lab with a seed money of 10,000 Ghana cedis. And this is the project I want to...
No, please repeat. You started a lab.
Yes, with the seed money.
Computer lab room. A seed money of 10 Ghana cedis. 10,000
Ghana cedis.
I wanted to be clear about that.
Yes, 10,000 Ghana cedis. I think 2 weeks after my award. So I donated 10,000 to a committee I set up to take charge of the project. And the school also donated 2,000 blocks. And the chiefs during the Deba, where I donated the money, also made some pledge and they honored it. So from
where exactly?
At Ekwasi in the Eastern region, Bremen district. And as I said, that's where I had my primary and secondary education. So after that, I had to write proposal to institution, organization, and even our churches. And Union gave the support it could. Accra City Conference supported. Meridian Ghana supported. Laboni SDA School did well by giving me a check towards the project. Medina SD. So number of churches, they were all happy, and upon celebrating the success, they all contributed towards the project. So when it got to the roofing, it was very tough, but I thank God Advent Press came in and they decided to do to pay the total cost for the roofing. And as at that time it was over 22,000, Advent Press paid for the total cost for roofing of the project. I don't know if maybe we can.
Yes, I think my producer is working on that. We're going to let our viewers see. Don't worry, viewer. You're going to see everything that Mr. Eric Asomani has done so far. I know you have this digital IT fan club,
Yes.
in which you've handpicked some schools to be part of it. What is that initiative about? What do you hope to achieve?
Upon the new curriculum they have brought out, I realized there are some key topics teachers don't have the skills or the knowledge to teach. So what I decided to do is to bring a teacher from the selected schools and 4 students. So they were to be trained as master trainers. Then when they go back to their schools, they also go and train their colleague teachers and students. So we launched that project somewhere 5th February, I think 2021.
Okay.
So what we were doing was every Friday, these students come to my school where we have a complete computer lab. Then they will come and receive the training. So I think after 5 weeks of training, they go back and they go and train. Then I only go and give them the support and also supervise how the training was going. So that is the need. So I was only trying to equip them with the skills on the challenging topics in the new curriculum so that they can overcome that challenge.
But why are you handpicking? Is it that not everybody is, welcome to be part of the club, or is open? Every student or teacher who is willing to dive into ICT or anything pertaining to technology can join?
Yes, we were looking at the lab size, and with this COVID, we cannot admit more than 50 people in the lab. So since it is a project which continues, we selected some schools at a particular point in time so that when they are done with their training, new set of schools will also come on board. So at that particular time, I think we selected 10 schools. Okay. Each school has 4 students to present and a teacher. Okay. That's why we had that number.
Let's come back to your teaching grounds, like where you actually teach. Naylor School, Seventh-day Adventist School at Tema.
Yes.
It's a community whereby we have a lot of groups. And most of the time, people have not really paid attention that sometimes our culture as ethnic people also forms part of our educational background.
Yes.
And sometimes it's kind of a bit challenging. How do you cope being a teacher teaching ICT and technology in which, as you said, maybe somebody has not even touched a computer before?
Yes.
How do you go about this?
All right, thank you. As you rightly said, it's not easy teaching in a community where we have multi ethnic group. And though it makes the teaching and learning very difficult, but that's why we have been trained as teachers, where you have to factor all these things into your preparation towards teaching. So what I normally do is I do what we call I normally use a project method for teaching. Okay. So if maybe today I'm supposed to teach this, proud to that, I'll tell you this is what we are supposed to do. Okay. Go to the community, seek ideas from people who are more experienced on the topic we are coming to treat.
So by the time you are using the cultural way of teaching.
Yes.
Okay.
So by the time they come, they have different idea or information from the most experienced people in the community. So when we meet, they do the presentation, then we take the salient point, then I summarize. So hardly do you see me doing the teaching throughout. So we have to also encourage peer-to-peer teaching where they can learn from their friends and they can appreciate them. And that is what STEM education must do. Taking projects, putting students in group to work on a project so that they will be able to tolerate one another and all that. So that's what I normally use.
So it's not only about the theory, because in Ghana there, it's mostly like that.
Yes.
The theory, but more of practicals.
Yes.
So,
I give a lot of projects. Some, they do research from even the internet and other things. So if you do it only theory, the children wouldn't perform. They will not perform.
I last 2 years, you spoke of the fact that you interact with parents and all that, which I will put it, you go beyond the school gate.
Yes.
That's how some of us will put it.
Yes.
How do you think it really helps with teaching? For example, you interacting with parents on how they can also help their words. Because there are some parents, theirs is, I brought the child to school. I'm paying for the fees. And then, make sure as a teacher, that child will get all that is necessary.
He or she needs.
Yes.
Yes. You see, education, we have what we call stakeholders. The ministry is there, the teachers are there, and parents are also there, and the students themselves. So you cannot equip any child with the needed skills or knowledge without parent support. That's why we have PTA meeting. We bring parents on board. We discuss issues related to their children and their welfare. So for me, most of the students I see to be maybe good, but they lack in certain areas. I do invite parents. This is what I've seen in your ward. This is the innate, and I think when we coach him towards this line, the person will be able to excel. There's one guy who is at Takrady Technical University. Someone may say he's below average, but now he's at the university. I realize whenever he comes to the lab, after everybody had left, he will be there working. Well, let me turn off this for you. Let me do this. And when it comes to science fair, he will be able to do a lot of things for us to exhibit or to showcase. So I told the mom, this boy must go to technical school. And he went there to do, to pursue electrical engineering. Now he's at the university. You understand? So some of the things we see in the children, we must invite parents. We discuss with them. If they give us the approval, then we also provide directions to them. And as a teacher, you must even go beyond that. There may be certain students you as a teacher, you have to spend on them so that they can reach out to wherever they want to.
Okay, like your own fund,
Yes.
like funding them with your own resources.
Yes, I have a number of students. One is at UHAS. She was in my story for the National Best Teacher Award, right from GHS. Very good student, but no support. I provided extra tuition when she started secondary education, though it was free education, but provision and all that. When she completed with 5 A's, the uncle got to know we have someone who is good, and now the uncle is taking care of her education at UHAS.
Okay.
You see, whenever she calls, she's so happy, and that is what we are supposed to do. So teachers, we are supposed to go beyond the normal classroom work. Yes, if you want to do it and do it better, we must go beyond the normal classroom work.
But someone would say that you telling a parent that your child is good at just this aspect, meaning that the rest of the subjects or the courses, wouldn't he or she fall short that angle? Isn't there any other way you could say, okay, he or she is good here, but then, encourage another aspect?
You see, all the subjects work together. For example, the boy, I told the mom to ask or to register her for secondary technical. I realized when it comes to practical work, he did home accounts. He was doing well. But when it comes to reading subject, he was not performing.
Not good at that theory.
Yes,
aspect.
when it comes to ICT, where we have a lot of practical activity, he was doing well.
Okay.
You understand? So not that you gear the person towards one subject, but looking at the subject he performs, what can he pursue in higher education? So you suggest to the parent. You can only suggest. That's why recently, before students are allowed to even select the schools for secondary, we invite the parent. We sit down with them. We tell them the strength of their wards, their weaknesses, and all that. Then we all make decision. And since we started that in our school, it is helping. You see most of our students at the university, and when we meet them in town, we become so happy. So that's how it is. We must provide counseling for our parents and our students as well.
As a teacher choosing school, we will come to that. But viewers, I think the building is ready. Let's take a look at the building Mr. Eric Asomani was talking about. All right. So we can see it's almost done, as you said.
Yes.
And there's how many classrooms?
It is a science lab.
Okay.
Then ICT lab.
Okay.
And in the middle, we have two offices for the two head teachers of the school.
Okay.
So the right side is for the ICT and the left is for science. And in between, we have two offices for the head teachers. So that's where we have gotten to. And the whole roofing was done by Advent Press through the effort of Pastor Kingsley Osei.
Yeah, yes. Kingsley Osei.
Yes. So during the foundation stone, he was there, and the union and most of the conferences have also supported me in that project.
A big shout out to them all,
yes.
Right from union down to every institution that has helped Mr. Eric Asomani. Say God richly bless you.
Amen.
This you've done won't go in vain. We know God will do that.
Amen.
Now, moving back to the conversation we're having, most teachers complain of the challenges they have when it comes to parents coming in. They insist, that's prempe, I want that son of mine. Or Wesley girls, that's where I want my daughter to go. Didn't you have that challenge as a teacher?
We face that challenge every year when it comes to selection of school. Those that we advise and they don't adhere to, they face the consequences or the repercussion of it. There are a number of parents who did not adhere to our advices, and then they decided to choose a school for their what. Later, when they are not giving that school, they come back, how will you help my ward get a day school? Then we have to make few calls to check if there is any way out for them. But those that they listen to the advices, the head and the teachers who are involved in school selection give them, they have it easily. Because the performance of your word cannot take the person to maybe Achimota, but the person can go to, let's say, Temasco.
Okay.
So why don't we choose Temasco so that the person can get it straightforward? Rather than you choose Achimota, the person who didn't get, they will do all the placements, there is no school for your ward. You become so frustrated, then you come back to the school, please help me get a school for my ward. So we are about to help our Form 3 students who just completed to make selection. We want to plead that parents should also take counsel of the teachers and the school administrators. Yes, it will help. We know the children better. Yes.
So that would draw my question to you. Do you see yourself as a teacher, also as a parent?
Yes. I'm a father. I have children.
Oh,
so definitely.
I'm doing that to the fact that some teachers presume it's teaching, does it?
It happens. Akusia, it happens. About a year ago, or little over 1 year, I was invited to come and meet teachers at Labonia SDA to talk on classroom management. And I told them, if you are in a school and you think you're a teacher, the children will only see you when it is your subject. Your children will never like you, and they will never perform in your subject. They will never perform in your subject. Sports, you are there with them. Pathfinder training, you are there with them. The children always want to be around you. You give them any counseling, they will take it and they will learn your subject for you. I told them. So teachers who only come to school to teach, I'm supposed to teach maths and I only come to teach maths, you will never achieve any success for yourself as far as academic performance is concerned. So those of us who are always with their children, when you come to my school, myself and one other young teacher, McLean, Pathfinder, school car, sports, everything. So at times when we are even transferred, school board says no, we will not allow you. We have been transferred several times. The board will only go to the GS office. So for these our teachers, they are helping us, so we leave them for us. So as a teacher, you must do more than the normal classroom work. Go beyond the community, even the community. We have a lot of things to do for the community in which the school is situated. So that's what I can see.
Yes, so still Rhythms of Life, and today we're having a discussion with Mr. Eric Asomani, if you just joined. Yes, he won the Vodafone Ghana Foundation National STEM Teacher, overall Best Teacher Award. We're having that good conversation with him. You've not missed much if you just join. Mr. Asomani, I would say, in your opinion, what is some of the challenges as teacher profession, you face?
Okay, one, I may say lack of educational materials. 2019, they introduced new curriculum for primary. As we speak, we've not received any material or any textbooks for students.
So meaning that as a teacher, you have to find ways and means
yes,
to get materials to teach.
It is today that I saw some copies of books in my head's office, which means when school resumes, then they will give it to those in question. JHS curriculum was introduced 2020. We are in 2022. No book has come out. So we are only falling on the supplementary that publishers have written and then they are selling. And most of us teaching in the public school, it has been mentioned that students shouldn't buy books. Government will supply. That's the thought of parents. So hardly do you see parents of public school buying books for their award, but for the private schools, they buy. So that is the main challenge. That's the main challenge. If you don't have the material, so always you have to improvise. You have to fall on internet, make research, and even if you give it to them to go and print, some may not be given the support to print because parents will tell you there's no money or which government will bring. So that is the main challenge. But fortunately for me, the school in which I find myself, the school board is giving us the support. As I said, you go to a lot of schools, they don't have the computer lab, but we have a complete lab. We get the support we need. So for that line, I may say we are not faced with that challenge. Then again, our enrollment is over expectation. A class is supposed to be 35, but you come to my school now, we have 55 in a class. So you give exercise, marking becomes so challenging, and even how to help those with maybe learning challenges to overcome becomes very difficult. It becomes very difficult because you have a lot. You cannot do the individualized teaching, but if there are few, you'll be able to identify, oh, this person has weakness here, let me help. So because of that, we are not able to implement the individualized teaching approach, but it is the ideal approach for teaching. So the enrollment also affects our teaching as well, but as experienced teachers, And the power of God, we are able to manage, and yet we are performing. We are performing even beyond expectation. So there's not much problem or challenge as pertaining to yes.
Okay. So you spoke of you being transferred so many times. Has there been a point you've been transferred so like to a very far place and you were like, God, please, I'm praying at this time they will tell me to stay back again. I don't want to go there. Have you had that experience before?
Oh, no.
Because once you just complain, you know.
I'm in SDA unit and I'm in Tema Education Directorate. So my transfer will be from Nelo SDA to my SDA. So not that, except I decide not to go to SDA unit again, then they will post me to a school within the Tema Metro. So wherever they post
you
me,
believe they will post you
that's
somewhere?
the arrangement.
Okay.
If they want to post me to another district, it's not the ideal something.
Okay.
The posting must be within the district. But if I want to go on transfer and it is outside the district, then the region must come in. But if there should be any transfer within the district, it must be within it. And since I'm under SDA unit, I'll be posted to another SDA school, except I say now I want to go to the early schools. Yes.
All right, dear one. So we're still talking about some experiences from Mr. Eric Asomani as a teacher. And we know that other teachers who are also watching right now can relate to some of these experiences he is sharing. We want to go for a quick music break. So tell a friend, in case he or she is not at home to watch, can also watch online. That's our YouTube or Facebook, Hope Channel Ghana. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick music break.
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. It's a final place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be
All right, welcome back from the break, and that was Mrs. Abigail featuring Joe Metal. Her album is out, and you can follow her on her social media handles. She's doing massively amazing as an Adventist musician, trying to win more souls for Christ. This is Rhythms of Life, and we are actually having a discussion with Mr. Eric Asomani. He's sharing his experience after winning, 2 awards so far within 2 years. Mr. Asomani, I want to ask a personal question. In this current era, do you think your student, your family, and even the country you find yourself in respect the teaching profession?
Wow. Some do, but some do not.
Why do you think, let's begin with the some that respect, we move to those who don't actually respect. What makes you think some respect the profession?
See, the fact that we are imparting knowledge to certain group of people, and through that knowledge we impact, they are able to make it to wherever they want to. They see us as people who have also contributed to their lives. And when we also fall into their jurisdiction, they honor us, they appreciate us, and we also feel happy when such situation is met. So some do. I remember I was admitted at the hospital. My student was in charge. She called the nurses, come, this is my teacher, he was very good. Please give him all the attention he needs. So when she left, all the nurses, little thing, they will come, please, sir, what do you need? So it's there. At times you go to banking hall and you see your student, you are in the queue and they will pull you out. Come. So
okay. VIP treatment.
Yes. So that's how some also see it to be. But others too, they see that it's not fetching much. So especially when you're a young man and you want to marry a young woman, then in your conversation the person demands your or request of the work that you are doing. You say you're a teacher. You see that from that day forward, the tone of the conversation begins to change.
Tones down.
Yes. So that's it. But I always say it's better than previous. Okay. Because now young teachers are doing well. Except you don't want to do anything for yourself or something for yourself.
Why are you saying it was better than before? What's the difference? Yes. What has happened?
Now, the young people, one, they want to further because the mood of going or attaining, let me say, higher education is easier than years back. Okay. Those who taught us, they had to go for set A. You have to teach for some number of years, then you go for diploma in education, about 4 years. After that, before you can go for degree program. But our time, we were fortunate to have diploma in education. So right from college 2008, 2009, I started pursuing my first degree at Winneba. And now we also have this distance learning, and my master's, I did it sandwich. So when school vacates, then I'll go to school. I did it at Valley View. My Master of Philosophy, I did it distance, most of them online. So we have the means to educate ourselves, and the more you go, the more you also make it better in the teaching field, where schools will be falling on you. So make it better, and wherever you are, put in maximum effort. I always say no teacher can tell that I'm a good teacher, and you cannot see any good teacher by the way he works or something. It is the results of his children. So when results comes and your students are doing well, you see that this school will call you, that school will call you. That's when you also make extra income, and you can be a par with those working at the banking sector or any other firm. So it's better.
It's better.
Yes, it's better.
Someone just sent a message. Are you saying it's better and they are going on protest and then demonstration?
Yes, for demonstration, we feel that what we are supposed to be giving, we haven't received it. So if we haven't received it, should I just sit in my corner and after school maybe 2:30, I'll go home and sleep? No, there are other things I can do. At times I teach other students from other school right inside my school or right in my school online. When they were about writing BEC, there were a number of schools I was managing their Form 3 students. I teach them right in my lab at SD, Nilo SD, and they were learning from their school labs. You understand? So what do you do with the skills, the knowledge you have received so far? Yes, the government is not paying as we expect, but I think we also have to go extra mile, and the extra periods we have, we should be able to put it into good use.
You're giving some advice, and we know you can give more, but before you go with the more advice, you started nice projects, because last 2 years you came here, you told us about the projects you want to work on, we began. Do you look forward to proceed, or there are more projects or initiatives you want to add to what you started already?
Okay, and for the lab, it is so dear to me, and I wish I can complete it by the close of the year. But looking at the economy, now even if you want to solicit for help from anyone, you are afraid to go to the person.
Of course.
But we are so hoping to complete it. So now that I have become the ambassador for Vodafone for the next 12 months, we have started our project. We are touring, training and all that. I know it will give me the opportunity to table before them, or to showcase this project to them where I have gotten to. So if they can also come on board to help me complete and maybe emboss it with their logo, and I think they will love to do that. So I will talk over with my supervisor, the one I work with. Yes. And then for a number of projects I could say I have, but one at a time. Since I have the plan to contest the global next year, you see, this year I didn't, because at least I've gotten the opportunity to do more physical projects, community projects. Now I want to also do more on students themselves. So a month to be easy, I launched another project called Meet Your Candidates, where I was teaching students across the country. And Akosia, at times you see that some the schools with boarding facilities, they were taking part from their lab. And at times I can see about 6 schools, the entire Form 3 students are the lab watching. So even if 6 schools and they have 50, I'm teaching more than 300 students at a go. Then aside that, we have a number of students who also join to be taught. So this is a project I launched to also work on students, because when it comes to physical projects, I've done a lot. So I must do more on students, because the one who won 2021, I realized her impact was on the students themselves. So since I have done a lot of community intervention and other things, I must also find time and work on students. So with this Vodafone award, where we are training students on what do we call it? High school, how to learn digitally, robotics and all that. I think it will also give me more grounds for to compete next year. So I have a number of projects I want to undertake, but one at a time.
One at a time. All right, so rounding up our conversation, what advice would you give to fellow teachers who are trying to dive into the STEM, that's the science, technology, and then engineering, mathematics?
Yes. The STEM is all about helping students to identify problems and solve them. So we shouldn't be doing more of theory. We should encourage group work, and then also help the children identify problem, and you as a teacher, you guide them in how to overcome those challenges. And also we should also give the children the platform to operate. Some of the students, they will come to the lab and the things they know, I may not even know. So let's also give them the opportunity to operate. Then we see their strength, and as such, we can also direct them as to where they should go. And again, we should see all the children or the students as our own children. Where they need be, and you think you can support them financially, spiritually, and all that. And I believe one day God will reward you as He has done for me.
Amen.
So I always say more of God, little of my efforts. And this award is the unmerited favor of God.
Amen. So our viewers, yes, we've learned a lot from Mr. Eric Asomani. What I'm taking with me, I'm not a teacher though, but what I'm taking with me to help my friends and other colleagues who are teachers is that physical, spiritual aspect is very, very necessary. It should really help our students and children. The area we find ourselves in is a very delicate one. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric Asomani.
I have to extend.
Oh, you want to give a shout out?
Yes.
All right, so a minute.
Yes, first to my head mistress.
All right.
Mrs. Sewa Deborah.
Okay.
Under her administration, or in her administration, I've been able to attain all this success. So I want to say thank you for the counseling and also the opportunity she always make available for us to showcase our talents. So I want to say thank you, and may God bless you. And also to Mrs. Betty Bua.
Okay.
She is the regional STEM coordinator.
Betty.
Yes. When we went for the interview and she called me in that same night that they have nominated me to represent the region. I say, wow. So I also want to thank the whole educational directorate or the regional team for also having the trust that I'll be able to take the award for them. May God bless them. And to my director, Mrs. Benis Ofori. She happens to be my board chair, my project committee chair. So all the projects I'm carrying out in the country, she is the chairperson. So to go out to solicit for, at times she will give me her car, the office car, go, and she's giving me all the support. So I want to say thank you. And I believe there are more to come.
Yes.
Recently, people are pushing me for another local contest.
Amen.
We are hoping next year.
Amen.
It shall
Amen.
come true.
You will. So
Yes.
a big thank you to
And
everyone.
to my wife. Wow.
Okay, Mrs.
Kofi Aminiji.
All right, Mrs. Asomani,
Yes.
yes, a big thank you. Aside God, for me, I would say a big thank you to her. Very well. Because you traveling around, she is taking care of the children.
Yes.
God bless you, Mrs. Asomani, wherever you find yourself. And to you, our viewer out there, for always making time to watch Rhythms of Life. Let's help our children. Let's respect teachers who are also helping us bring up our children, not only in academics, morally and spiritually. My name is Nana Akusia Boache, And this is Hope Channel. Please stay safe and stay tuned for the rest of our programs.